Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to a building site of a studio. To be fair, we are having the Trackman range screens put in, so it seems that my studio is the holder of all the rubbish. But guys, today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be looking at a little bit of tech or training aids today. So we're going to be talking about the most underrated training aid that I see that nobody really has. You might get a couple, I'd say 10% of golfers will have this. I'd say 99 to 100% should have this training aid, and this training aid is a mirror. So a putting mirror, something like this that can go into your golf bag. You can get to the practice putting green, you can pop it down for 5 minutes, pop it back in your bag, and you're going to know that you're in the correct setup and you're ready to go when it comes to it. So obviously what you're going to be able to do is practice productively and be prepared for your round. And like I always say to lessons when they come in, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, although a lot of people will try and tell you they're reinventing the wheel and they're the best coach in the world. We need to have a solid setup to start with, and setup's one of the things that gets overlooked. The more worried about, do I need a toe hang putter, do I need a face balance, do I need to tilt, do I need to straight back, straight through, do I need a big arc? Everybody gets so concerned about things that if we just have a good setup, they'll take care of themselves. So we're talking today about the Vizio putting mirrors. So we've got a different selection here. So we've got two different ones, and if you go online, you'll see eyeline mirrors. I'm trying to think of some other brands, but you'll see a lot of mirrors on there, and all different ones, and they give you different things that will help you get your setup. But for me, this is probably the best mirror for me. This is the one that I prefer. It's a mirror with a gate on as well, so we can put two magnetic strips on here. The ball sits just in this indent here, which I'll bring closer to the screen. So the ball will sit just in here, and then you can see we've got the line and we can put the gates on there. So a great putting mirror, and the big thing for me here with this one is that when we set this up, the putter is actually sitting on the ground. So you're naturally sitting the putter on the ground. It doesn't allow for it to slide around. We'll see with the second mirror that I've got, and most of the mirrors you see online, there's a lot of mirror at the back, but there's not much mirror in front of the ball. So that is the ball's on the green, but the putter's not. And what that is, the ball then, or the putter is then above the ball, and a lot of the times it encourages a downward blow. We hit the mirror, but because it's pushed in with tees, it doesn't have any movement. Here, we're setting the putter below the mirror, and it's encouraging us to have an upward blow on the ball. And that's what I like to see in putting. We're slightly hitting up on the ball, taking a little bit of loft off, and that's going to get that ball into a forward roll straight away. And we know from there that that's going to help us be more consistent with distance control, more consistent with holing out, and with our start line. And that's really what we want in putting. So when I get down with the mirror, we'll see a lot of people, you might not see your face at all in the mirror. You might be way to the left and your face is in the middle of the mirror. You might be somebody who's angled behind the putter and you can't see anything in the mirror. And that's a big indication there for setup of what we're trying to achieve. And what I've seen from the majority of best putters, your tour players even, not your tour putters, your tour players, eye line is just inside the ball. And what we like to see is that your left eye is just inside the ball, but in line with it. So we'd have your left eye in line with the ball. So if I was to draw a line from here now, straight down from my left eye, that would be in line with the golf ball. From there, that's going to allow me to be in the best position just to make a simple motion where the putter will arc in on the way back and arc it in on the way through. It always helps if you check the mirror is lined up correctly. The good news is it went exactly where the mirror is lined up. So slightly adjust that, but this is something that you can find a straight putt, the elusive straight putt on your putting green at your golf club, and you'll be able to get on here. We can do it from 5 foot, we could do it from 10 foot. Easier from 5 foot, we're going to hold a few more putts, but we can set that up, start to get our posture, make sure that left eye is just inside the ball. From here then we can pull the trigger, make a motion, and it's amazing what happens if you actually line it up straight. So from there, guys, I can get into a consistent posture, and then I can get the ball, as you'll have seen on that video, rolling end over end. Once we've got the ball rolling over end, the good thing about this putting mirror is we can make it a little bit more challenging. So you will have seen on, when I brought it closer to the camera, we have 3 magnetic strips there which allow us to put these 2 magnets on. And obviously when you think about it, the furthest away is going to be the toughest, because from there's going to be more chance that the ball's moved offline if your face is open or closed. The closer we have these 2 magnets, the easier it is, because it's not had as much chance to move offline. So I'm going to go in the furthest one to start with. And from here now, it's essential to make sure that the ball's lined up correctly. So that's moved slightly whilst putting the magnets on. So I make sure that that's now straight at my target. I get my left eye into position, and from here, again, we pull the trigger through the gates. Unfortunately, the mat's rolled off slightly today. But from there, you can see it started online, so I know it rolled pure. So if it does miss, it's either it's lined up wrong, or the mat on this occasion has been walked on a few times whilst I've not been here in the last couple of days. So a great training aid there. So it's helping you with your setup, it's helping you with your start line. And from there, guys, you will see I've put that on the last marker there, and that will give us a test of our start line. If it's too hard and we're still hitting that and we've got the correct setup, we might want to check a few things. So obviously in the mirror, in your finish position, we are able to hold our finish and see if we're in the same position. So can I still see my left eye just inside the ball? If I'm somebody who sets up to the ball, left eye just inside, and then moves back, I no longer can see my left eye in there. So I should be able to stand here, make a motion, and my head be in the same position and be able to get that ball starting online. So let's have a look at the second mirror, and again a mirror that is very helpful. This helps us with a couple of other things that again we branch over when we're talking about posture. So let me set this one up for us now, make sure it's lined up straight. Okay, good. So this mirror now, a lot bigger as you can see, and I'll bring this to the camera shortly, but this one now will help us not only with our eye line but also with our shoulders. So we can see if our shoulders are open or closed, or if we've got them nice and square. And if we've got them nice and square, yet again, that is a reference where we can start to get the ball rolling end over end and going in. So shoulders alignment is one big thing that I see from amateurs, where we come in, we get comfortable. Okay, I've lined my ball up, we're here, the putter works out, we make a good stroke, but because the shoulders are open, the same with a full swing, because my shoulders are open, my path's working left straight away, we pull putts, then we start to try and guide that. So this is a mirror here where we're going to be able to not only look at our eye line, but when we take our setup, we'll also be able to see our shoulders in here using these lines and seeing that they're square. And that is essential. So not branching over the fact that we've done that. And this is where then people talk about grips, because a lot of the times people, if they go left below right, they feel like they get a little bit closed, but we're still able to get square. The same as if I'm right hand below left. For a right-handed golfer, people start to feel like they get the tendency, but in the mirror here I can get that grip and still be able to make a solid motion. So a mirror now here which is going to help us with our shoulders, which, like I said, is something that we need to be aware of. A lot of people are making very good putting strokes, but from setup they're either closed or they're open, and without knowing, that's the main cause. And instead of thinking, right, if I'd just got my mirror down for 5 minutes, I'd have fixed that. Instead, they've looked at every new putter that's available, including the 2 ones that have just come today, which I have just seen, and they're trying different putters. It's not them, it's got to be the putter. So this is something that you can go and practice before you go out on a round, but also just after a round. If you're using a line on the ball, this is where a mirror is fantastic for me for feedback. So if you see that your ball roll gets slightly off and it's not rolling perfectly end over end, we should be able to see that that's probably going to be something that's set up or in your motion that's causing that. When we come off the golf course, if you're playing Saturday and then playing Sunday again, you can pop this down for 5 minutes after, or you can pop it down on the living room carpet, you can pop it down anywhere and be able to go, okay, let me just check my setup, let me feel like I did today. Oh right, I can see my eye lines way outside, that's encouraging me to now get my path working left. So I've got a little bit too close, eye line's gone outside, right, let me feel I'm a little bit further away, that's it, shoulders are square, and then from there I can pull the trigger. So 2 different mirrors, guys. I prefer, or I like this one here, but if you're somebody who feels like, yeah, I've always had a tendency, I've played for years now and I've always had a tendency to feel a little bit open, this bigger mirror is going to be better for you. There's plenty on the market and you'll be able to go, right, I can check my shoulder alignment now, I can check my eye line, I'm ticking a lot of boxes for my setup. You're going to start to see straight away why you might be missing putts. And before a round, you can do some really productive stuff to make sure you go onto that first hole, you're into the correct posture, because you've just spent 3 minutes. You might only hit 5 putts on here, but 5 putts is going to get you into that posture, and it's going to be very quick, and it's more productive than just whacking a ball round a green for a couple of minutes and not really doing anything productive to make sure your setup is good. So guys, hopefully that's giving you an idea of what kind of mirror you want to buy. Buying one of these mirrors is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you with your posture. It's going to help you get a better strike, start the ball online. So that is why, for me, it's one of the most underrated training aids. Everybody wants something fancy. Everyone wants something different. Nice mirror. Get your setup good, guys, and you'll be able to hold more putts. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again later in the week.